I have tried everything. From Metronome to Trick Room Regiolecki, no matter how many tiers I may scour, no matter how many attempts I make, the results are all the same. I am an eternal prisoner of fate, unable to reach the heavens of the high ladder. And so, if raw skill isn't getting me anywhere, I've just got to try the next best thing. Two teams here, one for Nat decks, one for Nat decks anything goes. Our first member here is the Sawsbuck with a 60% flinch chance on the headbutt because of the Serene Grace ability. It is holding the focus band to add a bit more skill into the equation, having 10% chance to endure any single hit. It does not wear off after one use. The Jirachi, of course, for all of you who saw Assault 28, you know what Ancient Power can do. Body Slam for its 60% paralysis chance, and the Razor Claw to hopefully get some crits as well. Superior just to start setting up some glares, making my opponent even more crippled. Also Substitute just to double down if my opponent does get parahaxed or anything like that. We can just Substitute and just keep the cycle going. Also, if my opponent wants to defog, which we have this Klefki here for, to set up the spikes, we also have the Jirachi for the rocks, so my opponent's going to want to defog, and once it gets the defog boost from its contrary, that evasion just adds another aspect to the substitute spam. We have the Charizard here, which is all about accuracy, and then Ancient Power, of course. Originally I had Hone Claws on this set, but I realized if I'm going to make my opponents deal with this, I might as well deal with some of it myself. Also, of course, Mudslap, because we're not fair at all. Togekiss with the Metronome, because this mon is the only one that gets Ancient Power, Silver Wind, Ominous Wind, all those types of moves. Also Air Slash, and so you all know we are just going to be spamming all of these moves, so Metronome getting an eventual 2x multiplier on those moves will be very helpful. Then onto our Nat Dex Anything Goes team. We've got a little trolling here. The Blissey with Minimize, Soft Boil, Charge Beam, and Tri Attack. No Baton Pass, nothing like that. We are just keeping Minimize to the Blissey and hopefully getting a sweep with it. Dynamax is a threat though. Dynamax moves do not miss, and this is Anything Goes. Shaman Sky, Focus Band, Ominous Wind, all that self-explanatory. The Spawn, another Jirachi Normalium Z this time. We have Marshadow with Swagger, Trollface to Glare just like the Superior did, and finally Lando the Gliscor with Guillotine, Double Team, Baton Pass Substitute. We like to have fun here. And so without further ado, let's start off with the Nat Dex team because this has a lot more luck skill involved in this process, and so here is my victim. I see Rabombi as the most likely lead, so I'm going to switch into my Togekiss. Porygon 2, that's fine too. You get a Serene Grace Porygon 2. If this has Ice Beam, Tri Attack, anything like that, we are in for quite a ride. So Ancient Power, I'm going to start setting up with these. Get it. Oh, look at that. Off of the first move, Discharge with Serene Grace. Yeah, I was going to say we are gone. I didn't even have to see that. Connect at the end there. I just knew. Serene Grace, Discharge. That is terrifying. Man, and Ice Beam. I would have preferred getting Frozen over Paralysis, honestly. Yeah, Paralysis is really tough. And so with that, down goes our Togekiss, despite the fact we got the boost on turn 1. Now, based on the rest of my team, I don't feel comfortable with sending in something like Sawsbuck, which sure, it could jump kick it, but we know it would get frozen with an Ice Beam. So what I want to do here is just go for some Iron Heads and avoid any discharges because I do not need any more mons getting paralyzed. One flinch, we don't need a second flinch because we are hitting that critical hit. The Blacephalon comes out. Now this would be a great time to show off the Ancient Power, but this fire type is a bit too scary for my liking. Let's send out our Charizard here as you miss. Perfect. Even when we are not using these types of moves, it just happens passively, and that is the beautiful thing. We are going to not hit our Mudslap at all. Now we have a Charizard out against this Aerodactyl. I don't like the look of this, so let's switch out into the Klefki here and set up a Reflect once we can. Stone Edge comes out perfect. Now we will do exactly that, set up our Reflect, and Klefki, I mean, you know, Reflect is the only thing it can do here, since Spikes, Spikes doesn't look all that attractive here. I'm going to set up a Thunder Wave, and this puts us in a really good spot now, because this plays Cephalon. Look at my team. Look at my team, then look at a Fire type in the sun. I mean, The Charizard's ability does not help at all. But either way, I still don't like the position we're in, because we have to rely on... Oh, who am I kidding? We have the freest answer right here. We have a flinching move and wow! It broke through both of those just to miss. That is just tragic. Let's hit it one more time. Are we gonna get the same results? No, we are getting a flinch this time and getting a chance to use our ancient power, which... Oh, it's too good, it's too good, it's too good. I love it. Gliscor comes out. Man, I love this. Let's get it Iron Head off. 41% and not a flinch. What a garbage mon here. Let's go for it again. Oh, we don't even... We don't even... They got me! Are you kidding? They forfeit. Even though they avoided both the flinches, they broke through paralysis plus the flinch, and yet they still don't have faith that they're going to be able to sweep me. Oh man. Yeah, that's tough to see, but nevertheless, a great first battle. Alright, now my next victim here. This is a fat-looking team. A fat-looking team we got ahead of us. Because of that, I love the look of Sawsbuck. Gliscor. No, Gliscor is on the other team, which you will see in the later part in this video. I think our lead here will be Charizard, because we can just set up the Sun if the Tyranitar comes in, get a Mud Slap up, Inferno, anything else except the Emboar, which we can then Hurricane. Okay, and we see your lead being the Omastar. That is exactly what I was worried about. However, nevertheless, you can set up your Shell Smash, but will it up your accuracy? Okay, no Shell Smash, just the Stealth Rock. That's fine. The fact that we have Charizard in, we do have a Defogger nevertheless, but yeah, let's lower that accuracy while we can. Our Rock Tomb comes out. Thankfully, it doesn't take us out, but yeah, it breaks through that accuracy drop. Now, this is quad resisted. This is 50% accurate. I see the only option here being an Ancient Power. Now, as you keep setting up your spikes, I just have these opportunities. Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping you're gonna miss a Rock Tomb. If you use that again, you see that we're not a threat. Ah, man, yeah. That will not work out for us. You just completely ignored all of that accuracy drop, and now you have tons of hazards on my side of the field. Yeah, man, the Defog, it's too good here. I want to set up with something like a Jirachi or a Sawsbuck, and yeah, I think Sawsbuck is the next best thing, because you will be missing some of these attacks. I want to play it safe here. You know, yeah, okay, the Trevenant, I was going to say, it's probably switching out anyways, so, you know, Thunder Wave, it will affect pretty much everything on your team, with the exception of the Garchomp. Now, let's set up our own spikes. The Trevenant will not break through this paralysis. We'll set up a Reflect while we're at it. Man, we do not even need the moves. It just happens naturally. Let's go for another spikes. Now, as we get our second layer of spikes up, my opponent lands the Leech Seed. And let's see. Our only option here right now, I see Togekiss. Yeah. You stay in and you substitute, which is something I love to see, because it doesn't really progress you any further right now since you're paralyzed. This lets us get in... What do we use here, right? We have the Metronome, so we want to click a move that we can keep on clicking, and we know it's got to be one of these three. I think our best move out of these three is Silverwind, because the main threat here, special defense-wise, is the Tyranitar. So if we're able to get a boost, I think Silverwind will be that move that shows us the best result. Because if the Emboar does switch in the end, we can always go ahead and use Air Slash. Unfortunately, we are not getting these boosts, but our Metronome boost will take us over that 20% for the Silverwind and take out the Omastar. And exactly, the Emboar does come out, so unfortunately we will have to stop our Metronome, but nevertheless, Air Slash takes it out, and now I think we're in a pretty good position. The Fire type is off of the field, which allows the rest of my team to really go in. While I do want to go for an Ancient Power and get the boost, I think Air Slash would be the move that makes the most sense here for exactly that reason. We'll go for another one. Oh. Well, damn, now I lost. Look at me. I'm on the other side of the field now. Well, alright, there is yet another forfeit. This may be the first time I'm seeing Barraskewda not within a rain team. The Shuckle probably is the lead here, and so I'll get our Jirachi out here. I will set up the Body Slam to start. We'll go for our Body Slam here, and we do get the paralysis. Now we can either Iron Head and just flinch it away, but that doesn't do us good in the long term. We could Stealth Rock, although, yeah, well, your team actually is pretty weak to Stealth Rock, so I will go for that. You knock us off. Alright, what do we have? Razor Claw, that does not matter. I could just, as I said, I could just Iron Head away and take the Shuckle down, but then Darmanitan could just come in and kill me if it's Scarfed. And so I wanna let this Jirachi win for the long term. I wanna see this thing get some boosts. Toxapex comes out and we get the boost on the first run. Now this is a moment where we really wish we had Zen Head, but Iron Head is that 60% chance. Body Slam Paralysis is 60% plus then the 25% of paralysis. Now it's pretty likely that you have Haze, so, Iron Head flinching away. Unless you're Rocky Helmet, so we'll see. One flinch, no Rocky Helmet, so I'm just going to keep pressing this, honestly. Going for our second Iron Head, we actually don't get the flinch as you set up a Toxic Spikes. That is a lot better than seeing a Haze. So we'll Iron Head one more time. Another Spikes is up. The fact that you're doing that, since you've already set up two, it's kind of late for me to do this, but hey, we'll set up another Ancient Power, and we do get another boost as you go for a third Toxic Spikes. Interesting. For some reason, I also thought it had a third layered effect. Maybe that's just the normal spikes. Interesting. Either way, two Ancient Powers up. I want to go for a third, although that only did 14% with the +1 boost, so I don't have confidence that it will kill it from that range. We get the flinch, and now we'll be able to test if we get 3 in a row. Oh man, we are good at this game. Salt 28, here we come. If this is any indicator, in Salt 28, the opponent got 3 in a row, and then they didn't get it for a little bit, but then they got a 4th one. But since this is probably killing it, we're at +3, this is super effective. Let's see if we get the 4. We don't get the 4. Alright, it looks like we are imitating Salt 28. Aerodactyl, Shuckle. Okay, Shuckle may not die to it, actually. We don't even have to worry about it because my opponent takes the forfeit and lets us sneak away with that nice win.
Hey, stop! Why? I just don't get it. I always catch you fuckers watching this sick shit.